questions for you, and I hope after asking you these questions we'll know a little bit more about you and what you're about. So, I'd like to start with Miss Tim Baker. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So, a typical question that I'm sure you've heard multiple times. How is it being the only female in an executive position in the 100 company? I'm sure that's a little bit hard.
Okay. I've been asked this question quite a lot. But before I answer it, I would first like to thank the African Time for this beautiful event and the opportunity to I would also like to thank my founder for the 100 company for giving me the opportunity as well. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. Being the only lady in a group full of men is actually a blessing because they literally treat me like their little sister. I have brothers, I've built a family with them. So in as much as people are like, you're the only female, it's not a big deal. It's really about you being there, you guys able to communicate, able to build something. And also, I'm no longer the only female in the group. We've expanded, and there are a few also ladies who were joining us. For instance, our events coordinator, Miss Esther, she's sitting in the crowd. She's part of the team as well. So it's been a journey, yes, but I'll say an exciting one.
Good, good. I think quite a few of us have heard the name, the 100 Company. What is the 100 Company? I think you're the best person to tell us.
Of course. Okay, so the 100 Company is a multi-dimensional corporate. So what do I mean by multi-dimensional? We mean that you can find us in media, you can find us in fashion, you can find us in community building. So basically what we do is we provide platforms for people to grow. We provide systems and recognizing people as well. So basically what we're all about is people. We really love and we're intentional about people. We're a God-fearing company, and spreading love is one of our values. So the 100 Company is, in short form, is a company full of love, spreading love. Yes.
Thank you. So I would like to know as well, have there been any challenges you faced in opposed to your male counterparts? Maybe respect, because I know that's something we battle as females, being in leadership positions whereby you don't get the respect that maybe your male counterparts would then get. Have you experienced that at all?
Quite a lot, actually. I believe people still believe that business is still a male-dominated sector.
Yeah.
So most of the times when I'm having some interviews with male business people, before they even see me, they refer to me as a male person. So you end up finding that all our conversations become with, hey bro, hey man, So when we're now shifting the conversations to maybe a phone call, they're quite shocked that I'm actually a female, right? So obviously immediately after the conversation, it shifts, right? The respect becomes a little bit less. I don't take that as a bad thing though. Yeah, I do understand their approach, but then at the same time, it motivates me to actually want to be an example for the female ladies out there, that it's possible to actually be in a stream of influence and be a lady. So I do actually feel sometimes quite intimidated. Like men actually feel like, okay, you're a lady, you can do this, you can do that. So instead of us getting to an agreement, you end up finding that they're trying to impose their power on you as a lady in a business sector as well. So yeah, I do actually face that a lot.
Thank you so much. I would just like to say you inspire me. I enjoy seeing you in a leadership position, and I can only hope that more younger girls, they look at you, and
I look forward to it.
thank you. Hello, Ms. Rufaro. Hi. Is it?
Oh,
Yes.
that's very loud. Thank you.
It is so nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well.
I'd just like to know, what do you do? Because I heard we move with God. What exactly do you do?
Okay, so essentially I pioneer the vision, which is to bring a Christ-like culture into our society. So having lived a life where I was completely lost, I found it essential to take who Christ is and redefine that and put that into our everyday lives. So I found that it really affects our society when we come from fellowship and we go outside and our Monday to Saturday is filled with things that don't reflect Christ in our studies, in our social activities, in our fashion. And so I saw it to be something that we can redefine. What is culture for today's modern Christian? How do you preserve our values and principles while still aligning with the will of God? And so that's what We Move with God is all about. It's about grouping together young minds to pioneer a different society in which we can live and thrive as young people who love the Lord and want to open businesses, want to open cafes, social spaces where we can interact and not feel like we'll be persecuted. So that's essentially what We Move with God hopes to do.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Would you be willing to mentor younger girls who are coming after you? Probably someone will say, "Hi, I'm thinking of coming to India. I want to continue what you've started here." Would you be willing to mentor that person?
Okay, and we're back. Yes, essentially, I would say right now I'm in that process of prayer where I am actively seeking the Lord and who to pass on this vision to because my time lived here is short. And I would like to see a mind and a heart that is aligned with wanting to know God because I've seen leadership be abused and titles be pursued. And that's never the heart of what we want to do. I want someone who is essentially willing to reveal God's heart to people. And so I'm more than willing, may the Lord give me wisdom, to mentor someone, especially a young lady. I would be thrilled if it was a young lady who would take on that role after I'm gone.
Thank you. Dumela Slebo.
Dumela Moratu.
It's so nice to have a fellow Mosotho here on stage with me. So, I've heard quite a bit about you, but I've never had the opportunity to speak to you in person. So, I'd like to know, why did you start your outlet in the first place?
Okay, thank you so much, African Time, for inviting me. My name is Cutie Khelible Mohlaudi. I'm mostly known for my brand, which is Cutie. Okay, so what inspired me? Okay, from the young stage, I've always loved business. But you know, when you're still young, it's hard for you to like explain to even your parents about what is inside of you. So like after I completed my Form E, I'll start from back there. I started my business because I was facing some challenges whereby I'm supposed to come to India, but there is COVID-19, there is a lot of things. So that's when I started my Cutie outlet. At that time it was not like that. But now I had to come to India and leave it behind. So when I arrived here in India, I started Cutie Agency. From Cutie Agency, I had some capital there, so I invested into a Zochi hair supply, of which I was working with someone. Then from there, that's when Cutie Outlet, that vision of Cutie Outlet came back because there was a bit of some capital to start. Yes.
Okay, so it was mainly because of the dream you had as a young girl.
Of course.
Was it in any way also motivated by the fact that she saw that there was a large gap in the market in terms of people wanting things from home, not being able to get them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because here in India, the fashion sense of Indians and Africans is far different. So, us selling the African brands and everything, it makes people to be happy, to feel at home even when they're still not home. Yes.
Any advice you'd give any young Lesotho girl before coming here? Any big sister advice or even businesswoman advice you would give them?
Okay, for a young Lesotho lady, I'll just say to her, there are two things that you must know in life. It's just to know I am, and to know I am is knowing God first. Then after knowing God, to know yourself, know what you like, and to know the vision that God has called you for, because we are called for a purpose. So you might be here in India, you don't know your purpose. That's why you find yourself as Lesotho, like betraying our name, like being known of other things instead of being known of our purpose. So we must know our purpose, and we should start small, and we should start now, not tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Mr. Farrow, one last question for you. Were there any hardships you encountered when you started your movement? Because I can imagine it's hard trying to tell people, hi guys, let's just do this. We're in India, we're Christians, let's create a platform for ourselves and move.
Thank you. That's a very good question. I've encountered many challenges. I think the zeal that I had in the initial stages of the movement was what continued to drive me to overlook a lot of things that required a lot of mentorship and that also required a lot of oversight. And so I would say the main challenges were to do with, were not so much outside of the faith, they were in the faith. And so that was a big surprise because I was coming from a just opposed system. People who are in the world are very united. When we used to drink, we used to share alcohol. People share one bottle as 10 people. And I was coming into a space where I was not prepared for the mind and framework because what I was reading in the Word was not mirrored in the Lord's people. And even in myself, my own character needed a lot of development, needed a lot of growth. And I realized very quickly that it needs a level of maturity to properly steward people. And so the main challenges had to do with myself as an individual, how I was interacting with people, and how I was showing up and just displaying the heart of the Father in people's lives. The movement's operations itself were all up to God's vision. And so that was not as difficult. When we obeyed, things were aligned. When we disobeyed, it was very evident in how things were falling apart. And so I would say that it was proven in God's mercy and in His wisdom that He continued to correct us, even in the quiet moments, to help us to abide so that we would have more wisdom to move forward. And to help us to grow as people before we could grow the movement. Because growth without maturity is a speeding train to nowhere. And so a lot of that redirection was necessary in the first year of the movement itself. Now we're just ironing out a few things within ourselves as individuals so that we can progress in the movement with a fresh direction, with new hearts that are on fire and aligned with whatever we want to do in terms of a vision. So those were some of the challenges.
Thank you so much, ladies. It was really nice getting to know you guys and talking to you. I'd like to hand over to the MC, but I see that she's not here, so I'd like to call upon the second panel. I'd like to call over Sir Zoe, Mr. Global Laye, as well as